If you ever find yourself walking away from a conversation or a room full of people feeling drained, heavy, exhausted when you felt fine before, this video is for you. If you find yourself picking up on other people's stress, anxiety, frustration, sadness, insecurity without even meaning, then you're probably a little bit like me, an empath, someone who feels energy and emotion deeply, someone who is deeply in tune to the energetic atmosphere. In this video, I'm sharing the powerful mental and spiritual energetic techniques to help you stay open without absorbing all of the energy around you, because I know how overwhelming that could be. I've felt the depletion, the burnout, but through therapy and working with powerful spiritual healers, as well as doing a lot of self-work, learned how to actually protect my energy and stay grounded in myself. Before we get into techniques, it's important that we understand why and how we end up absorbing people's energy. So often when we're around heavy energy, when we're around a bunch of people, we're unconsciously sending our energy out towards them. We send our awareness outwards, scanning, monitoring, trying to get a sense of safety and control over our environment, trying to stay on top of our surroundings. But the thing is that when we do that, we're taking awareness out of our body and we're essentially sending cords of our energy to the people around us, right? And when we're sending those cords out, we end up, without realizing it, pulling their energy into our body, and that is not what we want, because that's how we end up feeling drained. That's how we end up feeling at the end of the day, like, is this even how I'm feeling, or is this someone else's feeling? Like, this heaviness you don't even know what to do with, right? That heaviness that comes from picking up all of these different things that aren't yours to carry. So the first visualization I'm going to give you is that when you feel your energy attached, when you feel like your awareness is spread outwards to everyone else in the room, pull that back in. Visualize these white cords of your energy. Picture retracting your energy, pulling your energy back into your body as your own. The solution is to call your energy back to you. Protecting your energy doesn't mean shutting out everybody else or not being able to connect to other people. It doesn't mean not being able to have compassion or to have conversations, right? It means being able to engage, being able to observe without absorbing. As empaths, we often unconsciously take in others' emotions, kind of like we're trying them on. I realize that sometimes I go down this rabbit hole of, let's say I see someone walking, standing, and they look stressed, and then all of a sudden I start feeling stressed and they walk in the room, right? Someone comes in and they're like, they got that look on their face, they got that way they're walking, right? Or they're talking, and then my body's like, oh, they're feeling like that, ooh, and then I start feeling heavy. But why? Because my brain is like, damn, like, they look so stressed, like, oh, that stress, I know what that feels like, and imagine feeling like that, and I need to help them, I need to control them, I need to make them feel better, I need to, like, stop this energy from, it's like we're trying to control and predict and manage someone else's energy and emotions, and that's the problem. We need to approach the situation, we need to be able to observe other people's energy with the same neutrality of, let's say, seeing an object of clothing on a clothing rack, right? We could see it, oh, that's red. Oh, that's blue. Oh, that looks itchy. That looks scratchy. That looks uncomfortable. Oh, that looks soft. That looks luxurious. We can observe, we can notice, we could see what it is without trying it on, because it's not ours to wear. Other people's emotions, other people's energy is not your responsibility to manage as your own. It's not your responsibility to wear that, to feel that. You can be there for somebody. You can be a listening ear, you can give advice, you can give your support, you can give compassion without feeling their pain and discomfort as your own, you feel me? And one of the most important ways that we prevent ourselves from attaching to others' energy is from staying grounded in our own. When we're strong and situated in our own energy, we won't confuse theirs for ours and get all mixed up in that. So, when you're talking to someone, when you're standing in a room of people, right? First things first, before you check on other people's emotional state, what their energy is doing, check in with yourself. How am I feeling? How am I doing? Where am I? Where am I standing? Where am I sitting? How does my body feel? Am I breathing? How is my breath entering and exiting my body? When you're present in yourself, you can observe without absorbing because you're no longer living outside of yourself, right? In addition to mentally having that awareness of your body, maybe coming back to your five senses, that's something I've spoken about, coming back to you. What do I hear? What do I see? What do I taste? What do I smell? What do I feel? All that. In addition to that, I have a quick visualization grounding exercise that you can do. I actually learned this one from a powerful spiritual teacher in a class with her. Her name is Miss Blue, the Soulful Oracle. You can look her up on YouTube. But she taught in her energy healing class this exercise, and it goes like this, okay? So you're gonna have your feet flat on the ground, and you could do this sitting in your room alone, or you could do this at school. You could do this with your eyes open. You could do this at work. You could do this standing, right? You just need like 2 minutes, and you could really do it any place, anywhere, anytime. So you're going to have your feet flat on the ground, and then of course breathe into your body. Bring your awareness to your low body, to the gravitational force grounding you, right? And then you're gonna feel your feet, the soles of your feet connected to the earth, energetically expanding and opening. And then you're gonna feel yourself pulling in this powerful earth grounding, cleansing energy like a vacuum, like you're vacuuming it up through your feet, up through your calves, your shins, your legs, your hips, up through your body, just totally grounding you. And with your breath, you can go through that, cycle through that a couple times until you feel really grounded, really present, and you feel that calming, present, gravitational pull. I'm telling you, this works. It works real good. So definitely try that out. Okay, now as someone who feels deeply, I used to think that compassion meant being endlessly available, right? I've noticed it, well, I've experienced it in myself, and I've seen it in other empaths, that we tend to fall into the role of the therapist friend, right? Always open, always listening, always providing counsel and support to anybody who needs it. But at a certain point it gets exhausting, because some people, they honestly just want to vent without actually doing the work. And when you're always open and you're always listening and you're always pouring into others, but it's not mutual, they don't even take the advice you really give, you're giving to them before you're really pouring into and checking in with yourself, it becomes extremely depleting and it gets exhausting fast. And in my experience, I've gotten quite resentful to other people for constantly coming to me and just overloading me with their trauma, with their trials and tribulations, what they're going through. And I would do my best to listen, to empathize, to be there whenever they called, whenever they texted, whenever they wanted to talk, right? But it's really when that resentment came that I realized something had to change. Some boundary needed to be set. But the thing is, you can't really set boundaries on other people without setting boundaries upon yourself, right? So you can't really control what other people do, what other people say, how other people show up. The only person you have 100% full control over is you, yourself. So I really had to think about this. What roles and situations am I putting myself in? What people am I giving my energy to? I have to set boundaries on how much energy and time I give to certain people, when I have certain conversations, and how much emotional space I hold. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for protecting yourself. And yes, it is through grounding, that is through staying present, but that's also through setting real boundaries. That's also through knowing your limitations and respecting that. You owe it to yourself to respect yourself enough to put yourself first. And that's not selfish. That's not wrong of you to protect your own peace, because you can't be pouring out of an empty cup. If you're constantly giving to people who are just taking and taking, you're giving endlessly, then you're gonna have nothing left for yourself. You can't really fully love and give real kindness without having the emotional energy within yourself, without having that clarity that comes from peace of mind. And now I'm not saying you can't be there for your friends. I'm not saying don't be there when, someone you love needs you. I'm saying use your discernment and tap into your body knowledge to know when you need to set a boundary and when you can show up. So ask yourself, before you jump to support someone, before you jump to give advice, to open yourself to hear someone's story, to show up in a possibly draining situation, ask yourself, do I have the capacity to hold space right now? Am I giving from a place of overflow or from depletion? Is this mutual, or am I the only one carrying everything? Your nervous system will tell you. Your body will tell you. You gotta listen to that. Do you feel tight? Are you in fight or flight? Are you tensed up? Are you breathing? Are you holding your breath? Is your brow all furrowed? Do you feel drained after talking to this person every single time? Your body will tell you. Tap into your body. Ground in that. Listen to that. Interpersonal boundaries are extremely important. Those boundaries you put on yourself, and respecting that, it takes practice tapping into, but when you practice setting them, when you practice putting yourself first, it'll really take you so far, and you'll start to feel safe within yourself again. Now the last tip I'm going to give you, and this is honestly the first spiritual protection tip I really started integrating. This has been so powerful for me. So you can just pull out a notepad, piece of paper, your notes app, and let me give you this piece of magic, okay? So this one, my therapist, who is also my energy healer, she gave me this powerful visualization that I'm excited to share. So this is something called energy shielding, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're going to imagine a bubble around you, okay? 360 surrounding you, glowing with bright, protective light. And you can just, when you walk into a room, before you go out, picture that bubble up there, so bright, so powerful, that any darkness that tries to touch it, it dissipates. Because think about it, light kills darkness, right? Room is dark, you turn on the light, the darkness dissolves. Darkness, heaviness, all of that, it can't touch you when you are surrounded by light. Even more powerfully, I like to fill myself with light first. So yeah, you can do the shielding on its own, just real quick, put that shield up. And that's something to practice, the more you practice the visualization, the easier it comes to you, the stronger it feels. But another level to it I like to do is I like to cleanse my energy and fill and purify my whole aura. So let me tell you how I do that. So kind of like I said earlier, I'll start by pulling energy up through my feet, through my root, through my legs, right, my hips, pulling that energy from the earth up through my body, just seeing that get brighter and brighter. And then I'll picture through my crown, through my chest, through my back, from above, from the sky, I'll pull that celestial white gold energy out from above, and I will fill my body with that, and I'll see that light gather in my body. And with each breath, you'll picture your body glowing brighter and brighter, and see this light getting stronger and stronger until it surrounds you in that bubble, that 360 bubble, and you're surrounded and enveloped by light. And I'll see this light getting so bright, it's like I could barely see through it. And I'll feel that, and I'll sit in that light, and I'm telling you, it feels so good. You gotta try it. And like I said, the more you visualize, the more you practice and you work with this, the more powerful it feels, I'm telling you. And yeah, so that's why I'll really set up a solid, protected, purified bubble when I want to really go there. But any second, anytime, you could just pop that shield up, visualize that for a second, breathe in that, and keep your energy, keep your aura protected. I do have guided meditations on my YouTube channel that you can check out, where I do this energy healing, purifying visualization, so you could definitely check that out. But yeah, the shielding, all of these techniques is not about closing yourself off or, shutting yourself out from humanity. It's not about, secluding yourself and hardening yourself and, pushing everything away because the world is too much, right? No, it's always about becoming so grounded in yourself, so stable in yourself, so light and so bright within your own energy that other people's energy doesn't affect you, because you're able to be secure in your own. When you practice these things, when you practice being aware of when you practice becoming aware of your own being, when you practice grounding, when you practice calling your energy back to you, when you practice setting boundaries, when you practice shielding and purifying and brightening your own aura, your own light is so bright and grounded that you're not swept up and pulled down with everybody else's tides of emotions, right? You won't have to carry what was never yours to begin with. Being an empath is not a flaw. There's not something wrong with you. It's a sensitivity. And when it's ungrounded, it could feel extremely chaotic. It could feel overwhelming for sure. But when you're able to ground and learn how to deal with it, it can really become a strength. Having that intuitive understanding of others, having that awareness, right? But first, we gotta know that we're allowed to care, we're allowed to pick up on things without absorbing. We're allowed to show up without abandoning ourselves. You're allowed to choose. You're allowed to choose to stay sovereign in yourself, to protect your own peace, even when other people are struggling, because your first responsibility is yourself. The more you come back into your body, the more you honor your nervous system, the more you tap into your light, the more you honor your limits, the safer you will feel within yourself. I'm Chani, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you got something from it, that you're able to take something away from this. And if you did, I would really appreciate if you hit that thumbs up button, if you subscribed, and if you let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would deeply appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!